good afternoon. This is Lunch with Laura. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. Today's topic is don't beat yourself up if you're not where you want to be. And that's so important. I had a really interesting conversation over the weekend, and it just brought me back to a place where this past spring, I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I didn't quite realize it. And what do I mean by that? I didn't realize, I wanted to kind of get out and date. I had a short-term, relationship. I had a boyfriend for a little while after my divorce. And, that ended. And I felt like I was ready to get out there again. And, hey, let's see who's, what's what, right? and when I got into the situation, I realized, oh my gosh, I still have some things, some baggage, some issues that I had to work out within my nature and my character. And I said, oh my goodness, all the stuff started getting stirred up that I didn't realize was still there. I was like, oh, I dealt with that a year ago. I dealt with that, a year and a half ago. That's not an issue. I talked about that. No. I had to go back and really start to split myself open and start digging and get all that stuff out, because God didn't want me to take all that stuff into the new relationship that I wanted, that I thought that I was ready for. So I went, immediately, within a week, I started going back to counseling and working on the stuff I need to work on. And now, I'm past that place where I had embarrassment and disgrace and stumbling over and really feeling tense and uncomfortable about going into certain areas of my life. Now I really feel like I can be very transparent and free-flowing. I mean, obviously you exercise wisdom, when you're sharing things, and you don't want to be on a first date and just kind of bomb it out. Everything that went wrong in your life, so you pace yourself. Hi, Essling. Good, Evangeline. Yes, good. I'm glad this topic is very on point for you today. So good. But yeah. And I also had a very interesting conversation about a young lady who, really was interested in kind of getting back out there again. It's been a long time since her divorce, and she knows that she really wants to work on. She's not where she wants to be with her body image, and I'll just kind of put it there. And she's been working on it and had a couple of setbacks, and you have that. I had to explain to her, 3 years ago I lost 4 dress sizes. So you look at me now. Some people say, oh, you're a size 10. But this is a snapshot in time. There were periods where my weight fluctuated wildly, and so I had to really just sit down and give her my raw testimony. And just to say, I had so many false starts. I had so many days where, I got up in the morning, I said, okay, I'm feeling really energized and motivated, and so I'm going to be able to stay on my diet today. No. That day, the first temptation that came along, somebody brought something to work, some pastry, some cake, or somebody's birthday, or, they brought cake in because it was somebody's birthday over the weekend. And, you're like, they got to get rid of this stuff. Here, you guys eat this. And I'm like, oh. And by 3 o'clock, I've got icing dripping from my, from my mouth. And I'm just like, oh, I just totally blew it. But, even if you feel like, that day, even if you had something really fattening, a huge muffin this morning, right, with plenty of butter and jelly on it, or a bagel, so what? It's 12 o'clock, it's a little bit after 12 o'clock now, lunchtime. You can still start right now and have a, healthy choice for lunch. You don't have to blow the whole day. Okay, you say, okay, that's this morning. I'm going to press delete on this morning and get started. And so that was really my words of encouragement for her. Don't beat yourself up if you're not where you want to be. You don't have to throw away the entire day. Hey, Willow, you don't have to throw away the entire day. You can just pick up, today is a new hour, okay, it's 1 o'clock now, lunch is over, okay, I'm picking up everything right now, and dinner time I'm going to have, just a better choice, and I'm going to do better. Or, you can say, like, you know what, I was supposed to get up early this morning and work out, and I was just so tired, even though I'm really just coming off the weekend. I still didn't get enough rest, and I'm just dragging. You may just have to, change a little bit your schedule and go tonight, or even when you get off work, just walk. When you get home, a lot of times I encourage people, do prayer walking. When you're walking past your neighbors, pray for them. Pray for, if you know your neighbor is dealing with, a sickness, pray for them. Tell the kids, come on, hurry up and eat your dinner, because put on your coats if you're where it's cool enough to wear coats. Right now in Texas, it's still 80 degrees, believe it or not. They're just like, come on, let's go. We're walking. That's what we're doing. You got kids in a stroller, put the blanket on them and just start moving. Those types of things, if it's something dealing with your health or the body image, or if it's something that you really want to get moving again and start feeling better. And to be honest, when you exercise, even if it's walking for 15, 20 minutes, just walk brisk enough to break a little bit of sweat. You don't have to be, dripping wet sweat coming down your forehead. Just enough where, you feel like your body's getting warmer and you feel just a little perspiration on your forehead. You're doing good. Your heart rate is up enough to really start to begin to sweat. And that's really what you want, especially when you get to the colder weather. It's harder to sweat. So that's really what you want. You just start to feel just a little moist. You're working hard enough. So even 15 minutes makes such a huge difference. And it releases all the good chemicals, all the good endorphins and stuff like that. So if you're dealing with, feeling sad, even a little bit of depression, that really helps in a very natural way to counteract that. And there's lots of research out there. I'm no medical doctor. I don't have a a degree in anything dealing with medicine. I just know what worked for me. This is my testimony. For me, it was really hard for me to feel bad and start to really slip into depression again, because I've dealt with that. To really feel depressed if you're out there walking a mile every day, and really just putting forth the effort for you, taking care of you, even little things. You feel like, oh, that's really nothing. No, that's huge. It's huge. And you want to start out so that you have, hey, Gail, you want to start out so that you have little things that you feel like you can say, yes, I have a victory. So celebrate the little victories. That really helps you go a long way. So, so again, for my friend who had this image, had this issue with her body image, she was really just kind of beating herself up. And she's like, I've been dealing with this for such a long time. But yeah, you might have been dealing with it for a long time. But that doesn't mean that this time you won't have a breakthrough. Doesn't mean that this time that it's going to remain the same. If there's different things that you change up, you start to listen to, different people who encourage you. One good person, if you guys are struggling to change your mindset and to get into new routines that are healthier for you, or new routines that are more helpful, or new routines to feel and think more positively, to stay in a place of positivity, is Dr. Caroline Leaf. And I don't get a cent for mentioning her. I just think she's fabulous. And she has something called the 21-Day Brain Detox. And it's a part of her book, Switch on Your Brain. But you don't have to necessarily read the book. You can go and watch some of her half-hour shows that she has on TBN, which is Trinity Broadcast Network. And even if you're, not watching it on TV, you can go online. You go to iTBN and watch her shows on demand. And she is just wonderful in breaking down how the brain works and how it really takes 21 days. So please be patient with yourself. Don't think, oh gosh, on the third day I mess up again, and no, it's really the 21st day where you start to turn a corner. So what's really been helpful for me, and what I suggested for my friend, was print out a calendar, and just chart each day. Hey, had a good day, or hey, I kind of had a setback today, but I'm gonna keep moving forward to this 21 days. But to be honest, Dr. Caroline Leaf really says, 21 days is good, but it really takes 42 days to really change and break a pattern and reestablish a new pattern. So know that. So don't use that, on the third day, I feel like I gained back 2 pounds, or I feel like, I haven't worked out at all. And that's just something I really wanted to do coming into the holidays, because, everybody's feasting and I want to kind of counteract that. And I want to gain a whole lot of weight for this holiday season. All those types of things, the goals that you may have in mind. Just know it takes at least 21 days to break a habit and establish a new routine, or start to establish a new routine. But she really says 42 days. So please be patient with yourself. and also when you have a calendar and you're Xing off the days, it really helps to motivate you. It helps to keep you accountable if you really feel like you don't have anybody else that, is really interested in helping you do what you want to do. That's really so helpful to help, stay self-motivated. And another thing was, I had another friend who was talking to me, and she was saying how she was just really frustrated about her boyfriend. And he's just not where he wants to be, and so he was really kind of complaining about his job, and but he's been there for a long time, and he's really kind of conflicted about those things. And my thing is, for people who may be on the fence about continuing their education, I always say, you know what, 2 years from now, you're still going to be 2 years older. So you might as well start now. I've had, even in my own life, too many instances where I look back and said, daggone it, I said that 6 months ago and I didn't do it. And I'd be 6 months further along if I just, dug in my heels. And sometimes too, I appreciate the fact that, it may not be time for you. You might say, you know what, it's just not time for me right now. And I appreciate that. If God says it's not time, or you look at your circumstances, you say it's not time, okay. But as soon as you feel like it is, as soon as things start to line up, or sometimes God is really just kind of pushing you, and you really feel like things aren't ready. But you'd be surprised how some family members, not all, but some family members will really kind of rally around you and help you, to encourage you, or even if you need help with your kids. If it's something you want to go back to school, you need somebody to, really help watch the kids. You'd be surprised how some friends and families really will, champion your cause and really cheer you on. And they see you really digging in, you're serious, and you're like, okay, I want to do this. I need to do this for my career, for myself. As a testimony for my kids who are watching me walk this out. I always say, just jump into it. Don't feel bad, if okay, you missed the fall semester, it might not be too late to apply for the spring semester. Look into the school the way you want to go and see, where the deadlines are. If you need to kind of rush and get that done, help, ask for people, hey, I just need encouragement, send me, when you feel, like God put you on my mind, send me a text to just say, hey, I hope you're doing good. Just checking in means so much. So don't be embarrassed to ask for those things for people that that have your best interest at heart, and are really, there are some people who's born to be encouragers. I think personally I was born to be an intercessor, to pray for other people. And I've had so many people tell me how, just what a blessing it was when I just sent a text to them saying, hey, thinking about you, I'm praying for you. And, you'd be surprised people pick up the phone with tears in their eyes. You can just hear in their voice that they're just so touched. So, even if you feel like that something would be very helpful to you, don't be embarrassed to just say, hey, just do that whenever, God puts you on my mind. So, or God puts me on your mind, I should say. So, don't beat yourself up if you're not where you are educationally, if you're not where you are, weight-wise, you're not where you are fitness-wise, if you feel like, you haven't gotten that promotion that you were hoping that you're going to get, last month, last week, last year, whatever it is, just keep contending for it. Whether that means getting more education, whether that means, really digging in and breaking old habits and patterns and establishing new routines so that you can hit your weight goal and all those good things. I am testimony that you can do it. I am nobody special. I don't have a super fabulous fast metabolism that weight just drops off me. No, I'm just the opposite. I look at a piece of cake and gain 3 pounds, okay? So just know there's nothing special about me. So that you can do it. And I did it in my mid 40s, okay, my late 40s, when they say that your metabolism slows down even more, okay? So, you can do it. So I want this to be just a flood of encouragement for you. Don't feel like, oh, if I go back to school, I'm going to have all this debt at this age. And God can eliminate debt. God can deal with that person who's gossiping about you at work and is trying to throw you under the bus and plot and plan to make you look bad. God's going to deal with that friend, who just stabbed you in the back. You know, you don't have to worry about that stuff. You know, the suddenly of God can propel you. You know, I always tell people for so long, I mean, sometimes, some days I still feel like this. I feel like, I feel like I'm going backwards, I'm going backwards, but I know that God is faithful, and it's like a slingshot. God, he pulls back and pulls back till you feel like you can't take it anymore, that your arms are going to pop off your body, right? And then he releases, and you just start soaring and flying higher than you ever thought was possible. God just promotes you so fast that your head spins, and you didn't even figure out how that happened. It wasn't even anything you did. It was just all of a sudden favor that dropped on your job, favor that dropped in your church, favor with the people that can open doors, for that, that perfect company, your number one choice of that company that you want to work at. All of a sudden you find yourself there, the suddenly of God. He can do it, so have faith. I hope this was a word of encouragement. You can do it. You can do it. So don't beat yourself up. Just be determined to press into God to make that change that you need. And you're going to have setbacks, but keep going. Just ask God to give you strength to lift up your foot one more time, to take another step. He is faithful to meet you where you are. So enjoy the rest of your lunch. I hope that you enjoyed lunch with Laura. And you guys have a great rest of the day. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.